The fact that there was a mention of Letterboxd in this honestly made me feel really called out. It's like that one clip from Euphoria. That is that one woman. I completely forgot her name at this point. Who's going, wait, is this fucking play about us? It was really funny. It was one of the hardest laughs in the entire of this movie, and this movie being finally Scream 6. So Scream 6 is the newest film in the Scream franchise. I'm really upset that I didn't get a chance to catch this in theaters, but out of nowhere, seemingly, it popped up on Paramount Plus, so I decided to check it out on there. I figured I should touch on Scream 5 and just figure out, it was like since I never really talked about Scream that movie on here, just say like how I felt about that and where I thought it shined, and I did like Scream 5 quite a bit. I thought it was a fun reintroduction, I should say, to the other legacy characters as they coin it in this movie, actually. And also, I think the new set of characters were pretty good in this. 5 and 6 have the same writers and directors in the form of the duo Radio Silence, and they also did the movie Ready or Not with Samara Weaving, which I think is a fantastic movie as well. Going into Scream 6, there was a lot going on behind the scenes. There was a very quick turnaround with this, which I thought was pretty insane. It was like a year and some change from Scream 5 to 6. And also, this is the first movie in the franchise that doesn't feature Sidney Prescott, played by Nev Campbell, because there was allegedly a pay issue with Campbell, and because of that, she did not return for this movie. Which, granted, your horror icon, I feel like you should be getting more if you're going to be involved in stuff like this. So more power to Nev. They also did rewrite the script to reflect that she's not in this one, and it was done tastefully. But the big question in that area is, can can a horror movie like this huge franchise, survive without the huge presence of those legacy characters? Just like, since spoilers for Scream 5, since Dewey was killed in Scream 5, Sydney is in this, and Sydney's not in this, I should say, and Gail Weathers, played by Courtney Cox, is only in 2 or 3 scenes in this. She's not a huge presence in this movie at all. So we're mainly focusing on the cast of characters that were introduced in Scream 5, which I think is a pretty great decision. And that decision, it makes for a better movie, maybe even better than Scream 5. So now we're moving from Woodsboro to New York City, the Big Apple, and I think that's a great setting change. There's much more to play with in that area since we've never really been outside of Woodsboro, at least for the entire movie. As I said earlier, the cast from Scream 5 is much more of the focus here, led by Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, Mason Gooding, and Jasmin Savoy Brown. They all do a great job in this. And I feel like, did they dub it the core four in this? I feel like they're just as good as Gale, Sidney, and Dewey. The meta commentary and humor is still as strong as ever, although, remember in the trailers leading up to us, it felt like they were going to take on true crime stuff, and they've mentioned it here and there, but I thought it was going to be much more of a prevalent running gag in this, but it really wasn't. Although the running joke about legacy characters is brought back with Kirby Reed from the fourth movie, played by Hayden Panettiere. I always mispronounce her last name. But Kirby Reed is back from the fourth one, and I actually really like her in this. She has an interesting arc, and honestly, it kind of got pretty cool. Also, they shout out the Candyman film with Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. They say that's a good movie, so I feel very vindicated on that since that's like one of the first reviews I put out on this channel, so I'm proud about that one. Another thing that stood out about this movie was the violence in this, and just it's turned up to an 11 in this one, much more than the other ones, and it also like really helped like up the stakes of really just saying anyone could be killed in this, and that pretty much ran through the entire movie. It also really helped with the reveal of the killers in this, which I'm not obviously not going to spoil, But looking back on it, since it's been a couple of days since I've watched it, it was a little predictable. Like I got it, but in the moment, it really got me, and I just felt like, wow, I really didn't see that coming because there was so much tension of so many like already there's so many people that die in this. Like whether it's like a couple of characters or like like bad like extras essentially. A lot. It's a pretty bloody movie even for Scream. So it's an interesting way of going around. If I had to highlight anyone out of the core four, I think it would definitely be Mason Godin as Chad. Out of this core, like main characters, they're kind of making Dewey. Well, they're kind of making Chad the new Dewey of this, and that is one of the best decisions in this entire in this whole movie, and it really helped out his character and the dynamic that he had with pretty much everybody. Yeah, I don't have much other thoughts on Scream 6. I thought it was a pretty fun time. It was tense and really violent, and that really felt like a breath of fresh air for the Scream franchise, and especially setting it in New York City. It's a pretty huge swing for this franchise, and I'm pretty excited to see where Scream goes from here. It is a little unfortunate that it seems like Radio Silence is not coming back for the seventh one as of right now, because they are working on another movie, another horror movie with Melissa Barrera, the lead of this, coming in to star in that. So I wonder, are they going to wait for Scream 7? Or are they just going to get a new director and just hit the ground running with the next one? Either way, Scream 6 was a pretty fun time. I didn't really have many problems with it, but I feel like just that there were a couple areas where it just felt like it should have had a much more of a kick than it did, or it felt like it had more of a kick than it should have, and none of it, like, there were just a couple things that didn't land well with me. But other than that, I had fun with Scream 6. So either way, I'm going to give Scream 6 a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty fun. If you like Scream, you're pretty much going to dig this movie. Alright, those are my thoughts on Scream 6. I want to let you know my question for you. What is your favorite Scream movie? I feel like a lot of these are pretty consistent and fun most of the time. The only one that I'd say is not that great is the third one, but all the other ones I'd say are like, those are all, I wouldn't say they're all interchangeable, but everyone except for the third one being at the bottom of my ranking and the first one being at the top, I don't think any of it's interchangeable to me. So what I'm going to say is, what is your favorite Scream movie? Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.